The movie begins with a nerdy boy named Peter Parker who is always bullied by everyone. But like any story worth telling, this one is all about a girl. I'd like to tell you, that's me next to her. That's me. I told them to stop. That's me. Sorry. Wait. His whole life changes when he's in a lab and a spider escapes, lands on his hand, and bites him, giving Peter incredible Spider-Man powers. He has a rich best friend named Harry, who introduces him to his dad, Norman, who is something of a scientist himself. Hey, hi Harry. Harry tells me you're quite the science whiz. I'm something of a scientist myself. Nice to meet you. Yeah, hope to see you again. Yeah. Then we see Norman's lab, where he and his team have created a flying machine called a glider. While testing the experiment, a general arrives. What were the side effects? Violence? Aggression? We need to take the whole line back to Formula, Dr. Osborn. The general gives the go-ahead to Quest Aerospace to build a prototype of their exoskeleton. They test in 2 weeks. And if your so-called performance enhancers have not had a successful human trial by that date, I'm going to pull your funding and give it to them. Meanwhile, we see Peter at home with Uncle Ben and Aunt May, with whom he has lived since childhood. Peter goes to his room, saying he feels unwell and wants to rest. After reaching his room, he falls asleep, but due to the spider bite, his body starts showing side effects. The performance enhancers aren't ready. Don't be a coward. Just give me 2 weeks. 2 weeks. Get me the promethazine. Later that night, he hears Mary Jane's parents arguing at her house. When Mary comes outside, Peter talks to her to cheer her up. At that moment, Mary's boyfriend Flash takes her away in a car for a ride. Peter feels bad, so he decides to buy a car, and for that, he needs money. He learns about a wrestling competition and decides to participate, but he doesn't want to reveal his identity, so he designs a costume for himself. When Peter leaves home, pretending to go to the library, his uncle offers to drive him. On the way, his uncle talks to him about his changed behavior, and they have a small argument. Peter gets out of the car in anger and reaches the wrestling arena. We have to talk about this right now, because we haven't talked at all. You start fights at school. You're changing. I know. I went through exactly the same thing at your age. Just be careful who you change into. With great power comes great responsibility. Stop lecturing me, please. And I know I'm not your father. Then stop pretending to be. I'll pick you up here at 10. At the arena, there's no featherweight division here, small fry. But Peter signs up. He wins the match easily, but the promoter cheats him out of the money. On his way out, he lets a thief run past him, a decision that will haunt him. Moments later, Uncle Ben is shot by a carjacker. Peter finds him dying in the street. The shooter gets away. A few days later, Peter finishes school, and Mary breaks up with Flash. After returning home, Peter starts remembering Uncle Ben's words. With great power comes great responsibility. Keeping this in mind, Peter decides to help people and protect them from criminals. Within days, he becomes known as Spider-Man. News reporters want to buy his photos. At the Daily Bugle, Jonah Jameson calls Spider-Man a menace, but he agrees to buy photos from Peter. Peter then meets Mary, who is working part-time at a restaurant, and learns that she is dating Harry. Meanwhile, the board of directors decides to remove Norman from his company, which makes him furious. The next day, during the Unity Day celebration, Norman becomes the Green Goblin and starts eliminating his enemies one by one. The Goblin confronts Spider-Man, In spite of everything you've done for them, eventually they will hate you. The story continues with Peter balancing his life as a hero and a young man in love. He saves Mary from thugs, rescues a baby from a fire, and struggles to make ends meet. The Green Goblin learns Peter's identity and attacks Aunt May, who survives. Harry, seeing Peter and Mary close, becomes jealous. Norman, as the Goblin, kidnaps Mary and forces Peter to choose between saving her and saving a cable car full of children. Spider-Man saves both. In the final battle, Norman reveals himself. He dies by his own glider, and Harry witnesses Spider-Man standing over his father's body, swearing revenge. Mary confesses her love for Peter, but Peter tells her they can only be friends because being Spider-Man puts those he loves in danger. With great power comes great responsibility.